Welcome, wonderful viewers, for joining us. And then we are here at Jufureh, Albreda. As we all know, Jufureh and Albreda are one of the very popular historical places, as we all know. And today we come all the way to Albreda and Jufureh and to see what is in here, and then what the people in Albreda here and how are they living in the village here. As we all know, the very Kunta Kinte we know is from this village, and then there are so many historical things in this village. So what we're going to do is, then we will let somebody tell us more about the village or tell us something about the history of this village before we go into the discussion, because we need to know a lot about this village called Jufureh Albreda. So before going further, I will just let him introduce himself, then go into the discussion. Just give us a brief introduction of Jufureh and Albreda, then we can move into the discussion itself. I am Aisha Wada, your host, and then you are joining us on Jamana Media and TV. Welcome, dear.
Thank you very much, Aisha. Thank you to welcome you once again to the village of Jufureh and Albreda. Jufureh is the oldest village if you come to the history of the Opanyome, especially in Gambia, and the village also contributed a lot in the historical when you talk about the history of the Tutus community. Jufureh was first settlements were the Tal family. They are from Futa Toro in Senegal, and they came and then they settled here on behalf of people of Sika. And the first man settled in this community in Jufureh, his name is Samba Tal. They are from Sheikh Umar Foot family, and before they are cattle rearers, and the family they stay here, and the people join them, and until when we came to the history of the slavery and the slave trading, when a family of Kunta Kinte also live all the way from Mali to Mauritania, and then they came, joined the community. First they went to the Kian Jifaro, and then later they crossed the river and they came to this community. And when you come to Albreda, first when the Jufureh people first settled, and we have people from Senegal as well, and they came and looked somewhere else to stay in the village. And what they did is they can allocate him for somewhere else where he can stay. And the man was very knowledgeable when you talk about Quranic, and then he decided to live in this area, and the village was named after him, and we call it Albreda. But these two communities are sisterly villages, and they share everything in common, and the people are the same family, and we marry each other, and we share everything in harmony. And the people living here also, they live in perfect harmony. And they are sisterly villages, as I mentioned to you earlier. And Albreda cannot go without Jufureh, and the Jufureh cannot go without Albreda. That's why you cannot see the boundary between the two communities. And actually, when we have like naming ceremony, marriage ceremony, circumcision ceremony, even funeral ceremony, and the invitation came both these two communities. So they share everything together. And in that note, I welcome you once again. And my colleagues are here, they can give you more information. And if you want to know more about the history of the village, and then maybe I can, if my mind recall me, or if my memory serves me, and this is a little brief about the history of these two communities. And I thank you once again for coming. Yeah?
Okay, thank you. And as you say, thank you for that introduction. And what we will do now is, as we see, we come to the village because we know there are so many things that are lacking in this village, and it shouldn't go like that. If things were going well, there are so many things or so many developments that should be made in this village, but still there is nothing like that. So what we want to know, like, we would like for you people to share some of your difficulties with us, and what were you expecting from the government or from the Gambia itself that the Gambia hasn't done for this village?
Jufureh and Albreda, when we talk about the economy of these two countries, when the book of Alexeli came out in 1977, people of this community, since the former government, I can start Sadauda Kairaba, his government, and for 22 years of Yahya Jammeh, and also we have 3 to 4 years of Adam Barrow, I can say. But the problem we have is many. I can count it. The force, these roads, since when Jawara provide us these roads, and it will never change. And the people have a lot of difficulty, especially in rainy season. And travel to Bara, it can take more than 2 to 3, 4 hours before you reach in Bara. Whereby you can just travel only 10-20 minutes. You see Bara, but at the moment the road is problem, and the difficulty starts since the time of the Jawara and the 30 years of his ruling. And Jame also came. We thought that things will change when we came to the side of the road, but nothing changed. And actually also the people, their living condition in the community also, tourism contribute a lot. But when these problems happen, and we can say, we started from the grassroots, people find it very difficult. And we rely on farming, tourism, and also gardening. This is what we have in the community here. Yeah, but we have a VDC, and those, if you talk to them, they can give you more about that.
Okay, thank you very much. And about the VDC, and then we would like to talk about the island itself too. As we know, James Island is in just a few meters away from Albreda and Jufureh. Then we would like to talk about the island, and then what are the things happening inside that island, or what are the things in that island that the people out there need to know, and then what are some of the things that we want to be developed in that island which is not happening in that island right now. Can somebody please tell me something about that?
Like you said, these two villages are so much rich. And then I will start with a quotation, like most of the writers will say it. The Gambia is just like a tongue in the mouth, or a snake in the desert. But Gambia was a small country which is not known around the world. But Gambia's known came to the world because of Alex Haley's movie, because he was one of the first African Americans who was able to trace back his roots that brought the Gambia's popularity and brought the Gambia to the world map. But definitely looking from 1970s coming down, these two villages has just had not much to see. Of course, we have a lot of things, like you said, the historical sites. One of them, the testimony, is the Kunta Kinte Island. You can see now, we used to be called the Games Island, but today renamed after the hero of Kunta Kinte, in order for us to keep his legacy of Kunta Kinte, being one of those people who have been victims of slavery, taken into bondage from this Atlantic River Gambia, right down to the Atlantic, right into America. So Kunta Kinte Island is one of the major historical site of this country regarding to the history of slavery, and which is also part of the UNESCO sites in this country. It has heritage sites, but Kunta Kinte Island was one of the testimonies of European presence in this country before slavery, during slavery, and after slavery. Right now on the photo, you have ruins of houses, and these were some of the houses where slaves were kept into bondage, where masters were living, European themselves, where they live in, where anyone captured in this country here, that's their final point of shipment from the country right down to the New World. But Games Island is not the only site. We have other sites like the CFO building, which is one of them there, and we have the ruins of the Portuguese chapel, we have it here, and we have likes where the San Domingo, which is one of the substations of the island, where after adoption of people in the south, other banks of the river, where they will be kept in them before they take them right down to the other places. And then we also got in San Domingo, we got the first church that was built by the Portuguese in this country was built in San Domingo, and that's why they also had their cemetery where some of their masters who died on the island, where they will be taken for burial. But on the island, no slave was buried, neither slaves were given burial. They were all been dumped into the river. That's why Marcos Guy said, if you look at the bottom of the sea, it's all full of the black man bone, and if you look at the fat dolphin, they all feed on the black man flesh, because our ancestors were not being given proper burial, but the only burial for them was to throw them into the river. So these two villages, I think, it is important in the world, and the Gambia respectively, but I think there's no setbacks. One of the setbacks is because these two villages, look at tourists. If you go other part of the country that have all found these particular communities in tourism, have all gone far beyond. It had only its popularity around the Gambian world, but when you come the reality, you don't see nothing. And I think that's something that is worse. It starts with the routing coming from down Banjul to here, and by sea again, which is just also another terrible thing. And I think not only the historical side, the ministry, the Gambia tourism, and all the stakeholders, I think they also need to incorporate something along the sides, also to create another avenue. Not only tourists coming here. All these tourists coming here, seeing them driving, coming here every day, they only come for hours, they go. They wouldn't spend too much time, and the more time tourists spend, the more they spend. And that also create more job opportunity for the use of these two villages. Not even the use of these two villages, but within the satellite villages. They can all benefit. If there is a 5-star hotel here, how many people can work outside?
A lot of them.
If tourists can spend more than 1 day here or 2 weeks here, how many people can benefit? But look at the road. Tourists come here. If you come, you just want to spend 1 hour, go back. But they could have spent the whole day here. How many of these satellite villages could have benefited? They would have spent time in some of those schools, some of those communities. But this is actually the setback of this part of the Ghana. Tourism, in rather they are going to other places who are not even known in tourism in those days. But I've seen from 70s to date, these two villages known, you come, you cry. If you go to the island, it's disappearing. So it needs urgent attention. The government authorities, they have all fully bear it because the minister came here, the parliamentarians came here, but yet we are yet to see something, and I think something needs to be done.
So,
if not, we are here. We have all talking about the history. Our grandsons and daughters are there. Definitely, it's just interesting. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Okay, abaraka mbading coming ka fonu nyame bimbe jufrening Albreda lakono mala fila ka dumminto wolong ni famine la kuoto wolong senoti saying mala fila ka dung seno nyin kola because ngajela ko nyin jufrening Albreda mu dula kuma balti nanata Gambia la history kono so ni nata bi fanan senalal mi yalon ko wolle be Gambia jufre banko kanjang wala jufre tundo kanjang wol fanan be difficulty jamal la sotokan anduni yaje jufre fanan mudula kuma balti Gambia banko kono so laftare ka lon ko alla kolya kuwol nanata nyin senelo la kuwola saying mala fila kala bata kuwol long aning alla kolya kuwol be nyaadi la nanata senelo la kuwo fanan na
yo fanan be konton seno bundala nte to mbuto jamelte seno bundala kan ndolu shafu bata ronka wala sotaje because nyadota obuka soto noje ninji kita nyatotala wato akata ko malo doron because of honey troll kenyalu nimba soto la beka bulanye letli le kon beka ta samal la karola kon watin na seno na tan ka bataji seno ko kan mbuka nyatota sotaje ko mo doron mbuka ta nyato walatin hansai firmo mancheno soto mancheno fende fo bata na nyaton kolu ni sura ta fen abekata komal mbuka nyato soto wala na mbuka fen soto seno bunda wala kata nyabata kota anon kola ya bunda o kola fen te je na manchewot
sa natar nung itelong be government nyen yamar la mansa kunda nyen yamar atol jam molminu be jang atol senelalu albela fila mansa kunda yal makoy mon kusi fale to nandata seno la karol
joron lu sula tela trolu sula tela ani makoro bundalu nimba sotola ni sikala sota watola parce que nimbuka sota watola kan sey ni komal kar ni ko tro ena julay kono itata komal wala tro ena ogos kono itata komal inyanta fila wato men na weda say ba jalako hanbi bukata nyato kata komal joramul fanam sene joramul hanbi amamo besi o jorawon kadu ñoo funfun na nite mantar den be tardela waati na kadambul kola akota han kabi mbukata nyaato nyim banko kan to nyaato man sakunda nyante mol makoy jorawon to nyante makoy troll to nyanta troll soto wato men nan kala soto wato no man soto ntitano nyaato ha
Okay, abaraka baki ni nata island no fanan la kuola ki kambela fila idiam je aning tourism la kuola abetaka nyadi lijang aning tourism la kuol fanan bela fila kalong dembo isinano karo fananto.
Yeah, thank you very much for me to introduce myself. My name is Bakari, as a site attendant of jufureh and Albreda here. If you come inside of James Island is now eroded by the water, and then people are trying to preserve the site so that our ancestors come and say that they can find something in history that they can know, because it's part of our school categories. If you come in terms of the history, it's very important, because our forefathers were telling us about this island and still we want to remain the island, and the government has to take a place so that it can be preserved.
Sure.
Because it's, in terms of the tourism, the road network here is very poor. Most of the tourists coming here, they were talking about the road connection. This is why most of them, they cannot be here. And road is very important in part of life.
Sure.
And also the history, if you come here, Jufureh and Albreda, just 95% of tourists coming here is all because of Jufureh and Albreda.
Sure.
So without a network, road network, most of them cannot be here.
Sure.
And the island have to be preserved. It's one of the most important things. And government has to help NCSC with plus tourism board, plus Ministry of Tourism. They have to collaborate and then help the James Island so that we can preserve the sites. It's very important. Thank you.
Okay, as you say, I think like building like some of these big hotels here and so many things like that, so much industries here will help like these tourists coming here. Will that not help the village?
Of course, it will encourage and the employment will be increased, number one, and then it will help youths, and then it will help the fishermen also, and then it will help, what's the name again? The local people in the village here. So many people will benefit out of it. So number one is very important. Island has to preserve. When island there is no more island, there is nobody coming here. So it's very important. Island is one of the most historical that we have here in Albreda, especially in the Gambia here. If we come inside all the sites here within Gambia here, James Island is one of the most important historical places that people normally visit.
Sure.
So government has to take place. They have to preserve the sites very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I would like to go to the fishing part of the village, and then that is I will go with Uncle Amadou, then who will tell us about the fishing part of and some of the difficulties the fishermen are facing in this village.
Albe kontonna bal bismillah na jufre amata be ndebe fanna jamal la jam was be guide site be transportation of people kabo jam kata ela no kata so me tourism kono lim be sate kono jam rala na akuma ya batale a beteata bayri kolya dolbe je kolya bentol kamba kele me do kolya kono ok harma dum ko ni mila dimo fo a jaralobe kolya ko ni courant be le mila courant wa firon mila courant te jarano ata jarano don do la courant siatal because ni nata fanal la jam to nga seno bunda fula le soto jam kilo o mum baleti babe seno lo ko non do be bale be babe ntol buli jam do lay badum kam muna fan la bakele e ka je jam nyawol kam muta jam ku jalol kam muta jam talol kam muta jam sipal kam muta jam taygal kam muta jam o be ko landol kan nay ba usle mbe ko do ko la jang ko place be mbuli jang afela lota mantano man project so do o be mun na ko le ko dano be be senol ko ni na rajibe fana tinto fana la senelalu bi ni ajibe seno fada ma ko ro ko le yale ma ko ro nyanta halam wato minna abugo na senelal ko la ko ko le afna le ko no fada saat na fang jam mol lafta mun dun la ye seno bunna fula janne fana sama nan ko tanke wala mun nyindi ka kaso do ko na je bide la keno mi yanu ka tieni nyodo huje ka tuba nyodo huje ibe kaso da ma do ko laji comme da ko seno la symbole ji la ko wala ben je ka an wodum mu banko bele so senelal dum ibuga joran so ni na tourism na side la networking is a problem ndol la jan networking is our big problem because ni na buy over land babol min kanajam ani mol min fon kanajam passengers ndo la slow man betea be ma sa dam la wala o mun na ko ya fulti ni na ta bala karola ndo ma any means of transportation the mi alo ta ko ka bo banyun kanajam directly mi alo ka service correct on the side of tourism lembang or on the side of na local people le ni na the side of tourism kulungilin ne be jang mi mu osloti wolem jofan antoni odum kabrintol dinning o kanajam tubabol meta na la jang well before Alex Salibe history bugo present la Francais Canadian nu so disol Canadian. Every Australia la roots bugo present. Saying different nationalities letter. Even Russia no lu. Okay, certainly. But ni nada jibe na development of na la sate kono is very lack. Tourism la development jang a lack tapati. Jamanya na tarate. Because ni jibe in the history of the Gambia. James Island was the first European footstep in the Gambia, whereby Tubabol settled from the Portuguese to the Spanish, the English, the French, and any other nationality. Mialonko ya slave trade in Kenya.
Yeah, sure.
So ibaja lako jufureh Albreda is very important.
Okay.
Ndola jangar guest household sotole. Ni masama 4-star or 5-star hotel lo lono ni. Guest household be mbuli jana mialonko sate dingol lelo. Ni e mako ye promote. Obi mako ilale. Like Kunta Kinte Kambe Jane, you know, it accommodate almost 28 people. Ni nata jibe new French trading post me plejante. On the NCAC, jufureh Albreda dingola tabi, proka rent, tubabol mamini anko molisina no leka iloje. Ni nata jibe jufureh funa. We have a guest house whereby tubabol funa si lord no jele. Abe started dingol mako ilale. So ndo la back funa jang. Sipal ni nyawalu. Imam market soto. Fisheries play a central lojang for how many years? Dr. Ye Makoi.
Sure.
Hanare Komiko, the ice planning lojang. O Colafane marketing ye Mianko la Marche Bitano, the Yirwasa Malan Satekon. So you could let Mialongo, Nina Island of Anala. Tourism jang. Ni Island on for 95% of tourists coming to the Gambia. Because of jufureh Albreda. In the history, where GT board, they market it every year. I understand. Dola Island is eroding. Though NCAC, government na institutional member our arts and culture within the country. Iba katoke kanedi bari be makoy ro fana nyini ko molfu. Ni na rajibe na wafo fana vele akungo boyta over 5 good years and the tourism Canadian every year. Nga claim still. Pe man kenoji. So nyi mun na ko lealte mi yalongo mba fola pro alfana safre no gani ka je ko nyina mu state fro fana na koleati ni an ko billa frin pour que ñu develop sate so wala mu nakko moti ala baraka ba
thank you if I can have somebody to make the final conclusion, then we will have to wrap up for today because time is not on our side.
All right. I hope on behalf of the entire two villages, two alcalis, the imams, and then everybody in the village here, and especially those who have come to participate in these discussions, first of all, we'll say a very big thank you to yourself and the crew. And I also, before we wrap up, I just want to say one word. One is also to inform the general public. Philanthropic, the business investors, that these two villages had electricity now. Of course, the road is bad, but electricity is here for 24 hours. So now I think electricity for investors, that's one of their also another priorities. So that everybody can know that there is electricity now available in two villages for investment, for those who want to come in. And then with that also, with the other thing we will also appreciate, I think this discussion is very, very good. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you guys. And we will be very happy to have you people too there and then explain a lot about this village because we know this is a very important village in the history of the Gambia. And then we hoping to come here again, inshallah, soon. But as of now, we have to wrap up for today. This is all we have. Don't forget, guys, wonderful viewers out there, you're watching us on Jamana Media and TV. And then, as I told you, I am Aisha Wada. We are going to wrap up for today. This is Jufureh Albreda, as you hear what they said about the historical background of this village. So we are going to wrap up for today and then say thank you to all wonderful viewers out there watching us on Jamana Media and TV. Thank you till we come your way again next time. Bye-bye.